friends. So for this week's newsletter, we decided to finally go through all of the questions, not all of, but some of the questions that you guys sent in for Ask a Bookshop Owner back in January. We have quite a few to go over, so let's get into it. So any plans to expand to other parts of town?
So we've gone through a lot of different thoughts for the business, for the future, and with how much we want to remain hands-on as the business grows, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to have multiple locations. Definitely bigger location in the future, expansion, but expansion in like one place.
Speaking of future, what's something you hope the shop has in the future? When we started the business, we had meetings where we talk about like what we eventually wanted the shop to look like and offer and stuff. And my original dream was to have a tavern and for it to be called the Dancing Goat and be both a coffee shop and a tavern and have like some kind of themed foods and drinks and stuff. Not saying it's definitely going to happen. It's just like the dream of going forward. And I think we can do it. But it's not happening anytime soon. But imagine the possibilities. Are there different people in the shop that specialize in ordering from different genres?
Yes. So we have officially 5 book buyers, including you. Mm-hmm. Casey is responsible for our romance section. I do our fantasy, our cookbooks, our other things, and then otherwise all of the genres are sectioned out between our 3 main book buyers, and they just have different genres.
I think that this next question I said just deserves more of an entire video to show like all of the content that we made also while it happened, but someone did ask, what steps did you take from concept to opening day? Which you can kind of see if you go really far back on our Instagram. We were making content since before the shop had a building. Basically, when we decided we're doing this for real, we started making content for it, either in my house or my parents' house when we first started, and then in my house and then my backyard, and it was...
We had a whole rollout plan.
Yeah, we did.
In summary, idea, education, funding, location, legality, all of the build out, buying books, final touches, opening day, staffing, also in training.
Okay, I like this one. Is there a strategic way you approach what books you choose to sell as opposed to ones you don't? Is it customer driven? Is there a system to request books be carried? So if you want to request a book be carried, you pre-order it with us. That's the best data we could get to see what sells is if it sells before opening day, and how many we should get. If there is a good amount of people who are pre-ordering it, then we'll order even more in shop, but otherwise we are guessing. Next question. Were you 2 close friends before Fable Hollow, or was the idea of the store what brought you together?
We did not know each other before 2020. She joined my writing group right before the world shut down, and we became fast friends just through writing and a love of stories.
So when Alyssa said she wanted to open a bookstore/coffee shop, and she really didn't have any knowledge on the coffee shop part, I was like... So she let me in, and she invited me. I volunteered to distribute. Because I had worked at a coffee shop before, and it just ended up fitting really, really well. Our friendship has lasted very well. Thank God. That'd be really awkward. We joke about how we basically went into a relationship even more binding than marriage because we have, like, actual stakes in this.
All of our finances are intertwined. I just really liked Casey, so I wanted to lock her in.
Okay, do you / would you ever work with local small book merch shops to have products sold in your store? So I do try to buy small. The only thing is I do the merch ordering. So anything that's not book is what I am stocking in the shop. I order primarily through a website called fair.com. It's where small businesses can post like their own shop on there, and essentially it's a one-stop place for me to order from a bunch of small businesses. And I do it because there are so many different places I order from. If I didn't have that, it would be very, very stressful to keep up with where I'm ordering, who I'm sending emails to, what they have. So if you are a local small business and you don't have a fair, it's really helpful for a business like ours where we stock so many different things. Look it up if you don't have it. Did you always know you wanted to be owners of a bookshop? If not, what did you think you'd be doing instead? I did not know I always wanted to be an owner of a bookshop. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I think that if we didn't have this, I would still have no idea what I wanted to do because I needed something that would give me a whole bunch of things to do. I did 911 dispatching for a bit. I was working at a greenhouse. I worked at a coffee shop. I did a whole bunch. I nannied. I did all kinds of stuff, and I think I'd still be hopping around looking for something to do and probably writing on the side. And just generally flailing about. What about you?
So I was working in the corporate world before 2020 because I was furloughed from my corporate job in 2020, which was what kind of sparked a lot of rethinking what I wanted with my future. So honestly, if the events of 2020 hadn't happened, there's a good chance that I would still be working in corporate because I did enjoy my job. I was in learning and development for a movie company. But I definitely am more suited for entrepreneurship.
Ooh, you probably have a good one for this one. Please tell us a story from one of your favorite author encounters.
One of my favorites was definitely I gave Sarah Beth Durst a ride back to her hotel after an author event, and that will remain very special in my mind because it was just really nice to get to chat with her about her experience as an author. She's written so many books, and Spell Shop was her first one that really took off. And there is just something so nice about getting to talk to an author about their journey, not in front of a bunch of people too, like getting more of an intimate conversation. And I absolutely adore her. It was a great conversation, and I am so excited for her because she definitely deserves all of the hype that she's getting around her books now.
Okay, I like this question. Which aspect or part will consistently bring you to tears, whether happy or sad ones? I still haven't cried at work. Fun fact, I cried after work, but I haven't cried at work. Probably stress is the biggest one for us. We've been through very stressful times. The stress triggers would include events gone wrong, which has thankfully really only happened once. Money getting really tight is very, very stressful because it's not just us that it affects. If things go bad, we have lots of employees. We have like 12 employees now. So it affects all our friends because we're good friends with them.
Exhaustion and burnout.
Ooh.
If I feel like I'm stuck in a cycle of monotony and I feel like I'm drowning with tasks, then that's where I get overwhelmed and teary. I wish that I had more of a happy one to use.
We got all of the bookcases up. Got you kind of teary-eyed in like a good way.
Yeah, the day that we actually got all of the bookshelves in and we're putting them on the wall and on places on the floor, it was like, because bookshelves are very specific to a bookstore. So there was something about that was like, it's a bookstore. It finally looks like a bookstore. Even though the shelves are empty, the shelves are here.
It was specifically giving that one scene in You've Got Mail. I know it's a sad scene in You've Got Mail, but we're obsessed with that movie. Where at the end it shows like her empty bookstore without the books on the shelves because she's closing. But it was kind of the opposite because, we were opening. But it was, I'm pretty sure we even pulled it up and we're like watching that scene or something.
Well, and there's a picture that you took of me too, like sitting in front of a bookshelf, just like staring up at the empty bookshelf, and it was a good like encapsulating photo of the feelings of like soon this will be full of books, and it's the potential of the dream.
It looks like it's Alyssa just like looking up and taking it in, but actually she was so tired she just stopped moving. Next question. How do y'all choose which books for book clubs? we pick them out kind of quarterly, not quarterly, but seasonally. I'll usually look at things like what author events do I have coming up? Should I choose one of those books so more people get familiar with this author? What new releases are coming out that I know people will be excited about? Even sometimes I go for one where I'm like, maybe eventually I want to have this one for an author event, and it'd be nice if I could show the publicist, yes, I've already championed this book and we have this many people that read it and really loved it. Sometimes I just pick ones that I know will be really fun and I'll really enjoy, and I just hope that other people really enjoy it.
You know, sometimes it's chosen because one of us on staff has already read it and is like, this would be a great one.
This is going to be a fun one to answer too. How do you decide what drinks to carry / how do you come up with the more unique blends? When we first started, I did a lot of the drink stuff, and then I feel like as we've gone on, it's not something that I particularly love doing, so it's gone to other people, or sometimes I just end up doing them if I came up with the ideas. How we've done it the past couple times is we kind of have a brainstorming meeting and we think of what flavors we want to play with, and then from there we try to make a syrup, or we figure out what form that flavor needs to be in. And we play with those recipes until we have some sort of solid, if it's a syrup, a sauce, a topping, whatever it is. And then we play with the actual drink recipes and what it needs to go in, if it's coffee or tea or chai or whatever. Thank you guys for watching this entire video and our rambling, and I hope that it was somewhat interesting. And please let us know if you want more content like this. Commenting, liking, sharing really helps us to know that, and helps other people to see it, and then therefore also tell us if they want it. Otherwise, we are speaking to a wall. But it would help to know that other people want to hear what we're talking about. Otherwise, we'll probably convince ourselves not to do anymore and pivot again.
But I really want to edit videos, so help us not have to pivot.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So Piper has been helping us as our camera woman.
She works so hard.
Oh Lord, I'm so sorry.